expectations for it, but they're what I would consider a pretty scrappy team. Like, they're always in these games. They're always getting there in the You're wrong. Sometimes it doesn't look very nice, but you know, how well will that be able to happen when you're working with a substitute? I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, recent form suggests that since leaving, it was Enterprise, I think, Marisco's been pretty good.
He hasn't left it, but he's still there. Oh, wait! Oh, wait! He's back on the server. Yeah, he is here.
No, that might just be wrong on the HUD.
I don't know. But that is definitely a night play if I've ever seen one. If we actually got to see Makey pull that off, hats off to him, man. Good job. Coming in for that man, and it is going to be B-Stick being taken on down to the A side. Oscar and Shock left standing in the 2v2. It's going to be the bomb on the back of Headtrick with a USP in hand. Now picked up. Headtrick finds the triple. Looks in for the quadra, but now, oh, Shock whiffs out so many shots. Headtrick. What a start to the round. What a start to the pistol, and what a start for Bait here on their own map pick. That's it. That's the first pistol already done and out.
Yeah, and it's when you look down the pike and you see Headtrick and Alex in a 2-on whatever, really. It's hard not to think that they have a chance at those types of rounds, and it's for that reason. Pulling it off easily, you know, getting into a post-plant position, not even the easiest thing to do there, but they make it work, and just some incredible shots ringing through. I'm trying to get a look if that is actually on the server.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out as well. But until we get an answer for that, we will be taking a look on down to a force buy here for Sinners.
Oh no, that's him.
That's him, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I saw it. I thought maybe the Steam IDs were wrong or something, but no.
Yeah. So it is going to be Makey being substituted in by Marishko, and now Shock being shocked again onto the A side. It is going to be the flash on down. B-Stick runs on out, picks up a Galil from the ground, and finds MPL as well. What a triple kill from B-Stick. Don't think I did him justice there, but either way, he pulled on through, and now it's going to be the 2v2. Captain Kirka, Mac-10 in hand, and the CZ connects from Oscar. 1v1 remaining. Ground goes by very quickly, and it is going to be Oscar spotting out Captain Kirka late, but Captain Kirka, Mac-10 in hand, connects on a triple kill, and the kill bonuses go on through. There's the man finding the double on the board here, and it is going to be Bates taking away a pretty big advantage to start off their own map pick.
Yeah, and up against, you know, the force spy as well. It looks like they're going back in for it. They can't continue. I mean, considering the Bait down to the 1v1 there, I guess is the thought process behind this force, but man, is it aggressive. And on the CT side of Nuke, I feel like you really want to get the weapons out, but hey, if they can make it work, it's all good at the end of the day. But that is the big question mark. As NPL is going to do a ton of damage and an aid to chase the man down. Marisco will fall. But a couple of trades, that's at least going to even the odds. Thanks to B-Stick. And Shock has got some interesting timing here.
Ooh, there it is. Shock manages to find Captain Kirk, but 8 is going to be immediately traded out. Look at Oscar, though. Lost him out there towards Secret. He is going to be able to find one and big damage onto his Sentinel as they move on down to the back of the B site. It is going to be a bomb plant happening out here for Bait. Ooh, they're so aggressive every single round, but B-Stick comes around. And he had the A1S to work with. He's 5-2, going to be looking at source 6, but Headtrick, he's been looking so good out here into these clutches. Already found 2. Now takes a look on down towards Ram, but it is going to be the off-angle peak. Well, the off-timing peak coming out here from B-Stick, finding a triple kill, another multi-frag, but this time around, it works out in the favor of Sinners.
Yeah, I mean, when he gets a triple kill in the previous round and they still can't take the victory, he's like, all right, guys, we're buying back in. We're going to do it again, and I'm going to show you that it's enough. 3 kills, that's plenty, man. As Sinners, I said I was a little bit concerned about the buy. If it goes wrong, they're sort of down and out. You know, it's a lot of rounds to give up to the T side pretty early, but they win, so all good. Though, you do get the bomb plant, which means that Bait, I would imagine, are going to continue to put on the pressure. Even with the changes to the money, that's not gonna be enough to dissuade them. Or maybe it will be.
don't think so. Yeah, there is a buy coming through. They took a tackle pause for a reason, right? I like seeing the early tackle pauses because you never know how the rounds are gonna go. You never know how your coach can actually impact you early on into the game. So having this tackle timeout, it's nice. They're gonna get some talking done. NPL is gonna get some pointers across here, and Vincent, we're not taking a look on down to like 2021 Sinners when they were breaching top 20, right, anymore. I mean, the form on some of these players could still be traced back to those days, but not every day, right? So, Bait, they are going to have to actually take this one pretty darn seriously, even though they've been in such a role, even though they feel unstoppable towards these days. They're going to have to look down to something out here onto the A side, and it is going to be Beastic finding two. NPL trades him out, getting back into the side. Alex finds another and brings us to another post-plant situation.
But look at Captain Kirka. Are they even going to be prepared for this? Freebie there, but Captain Kirka's not aware. Ooh. Oh, maybe is. Gets a couple of shots off, but that's a critical frag. NPL's going to force the issue, though, and with him down, Alex is in a really difficult spot. Smack 10, not ideal for this position. Not by a long shot.
Oh, don't peek. No need to peek out here. Just play the timer. There's the defuse get onto Morishko, but if you can find him. Here, the round is won. There's the smoke. Oh, it helps out Alex. And now timer runs away. It is going to be Alex falling down inside of the smoke. Is there enough time out here for Morishko to defuse? And I think so. Vincent, we go to 2-2 Sinners. What a round here. Alex just about to clutch the 1v3.
And Bait on their investment can't make it happen. I mean, valiant effort. Let's be real, but I do want to give props to Sinners because they kept that even all the way through. The trade spacing was fantastic. And even though I think Bait did a great job to actually convert what was, I think, just a 4-on-3 back into the even scenario. It is... What are these buys? Alex is on a hero rifle? I'm so confused.
I mean, they have to try out something to deny Sinners this momentum, right? Because cash is starting to flow back into the Sinners' pockets. Right, and if that starts to happen and they start picking up easy rounds, they're just going to be running away with it. So they are just thinking, okay, we'll do everything in our possibility, everything in our, well, real short-term future right now to try to deter Sinners from keeping economy going. So they're going in for Alex on a hero AK that can be picked up by anyone else if he goes down. It's full investment on the armors as well, though, for these Tech 9s.
I mean, they had the cash for that, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's just this AK that, I mean, if Alex can manufacture an opening, would be great. But speaking of trying to pick those up, that's a really difficult space to grab anything. Fortunately, MPL has made life a little bit more difficult. Beastic will fall outside, and now things are a lot more recoverable. But the Op's moving in, and they haven't taken an aggressive enough stance in order to re-grab those guns.
Yeah, MPL was forced to do it all this round. You can see it on his eyes. He's like, guys, what happened? I found two for us. It was a 3v3. At least we could have picked up a weapon, but that's not the case. He brings out the head cannon again, though. So imagine if he finds a triple kill, a third. Oh my goodness. Imagine that connected, but it didn't. 8 manages to find the kill bonus onto him. And now Sinners are still going to be pretty darn happy, saving away an AK and an AWP, even though the SMG is still left on 8. It's fine. They're going into round number 6 here on a perfectly good buy. As Bait, they will be investing yet again. Of course they will. It was an eco from everybody besides Alex, so I'm wondering what they're going to be putting him on. Probably a Deagle or a Mac 10. There it is. And we're heading into round number 6 here with Bait kind of going in headstrong, right? Starting off really well with a 2-0, and now Sinners immediately just brought it back.
And the way in which they were able to do that is that they just kept up the pressure, right? Continuous force buys and making life difficult for Bait. Also, multiple, like, 1vx scenarios as well required. And so, into a gun round this time. We got C-Smokes down. They're going to take their time getting across Essential with a fantastic shot. He's going to dispatch with one. That opens the door, but Oscar's still down underneath and in secret, ready to deal with anybody moving forward. And if they just swing this dry, he's sure to get at least one, I would imagine.
Oh,
yeah, that's going to be the case.
And for the second. He doesn't try to go in for the flick, and that is gonna cost him dearly. Oscar to fall on down towards the vent here. It is gonna be Beastic on a very nice peek. Finds two, shuts them down. Sinner still on the man advantage. Oh, and Bait, they are so segregated right now. They're not sticking together at all, Vincent. They're trying to go down B.
Yeah, trying to get back into a little bit more close-knit setup, but okay, Alex just moonwalks across Beastic's screen, loses track of the spray, and it's now a 2-on-2, back up to A for Bait, and nobody's actually there. The Molotovs to force Shock back for the moment, as I will re-grab a little bit of a better weapon. Alex unable to get anything better than this MAC-10, and he's once again in a tough position to utilize it effectively.
Yeah, but at least it's a 2v2, right? He's not all by himself this time. Maybe the flash on down. He looks away. Shock finds him, and now 8 is going to find the last one as well. Another round picked up here for Sinners. 4 in a row. Shock just buying up time for the AWP pickup. And yeah, I mean, for now, Bait, they had a good start. Now they really have to wonder, where are their buys taking them, right? What is the plan here? What are they doing? They're not sticking together. Some of them are pushing outside. Some of them are holding down on lobby. Even some even pushing onto ramp. And we don't get to see a lot of concentrated aggression out here from the T side.
Yeah, even with the bomb plant, it's still not ideal for Bait in this round. They're just gonna buy down what they can. I do think, for me, the thing to talk about that's been so successful for Sinners is just that they've been effectively getting trade frags, and then once into those late round scenarios, the 2v2 last round and the clutch as well, they're winning out in those big moments. As Oscar's once again opened the proceedings, he's got Morisco on the other side. A bit ambitious from MPL, trying to get through a smoke and catch the timing.
Right now, though, it is going to be 8 trying to find this 1v3. Up against the UMP and 2 Galils. The buy is interesting. It's scrappy, but it might just work out. And no, it doesn't. Not with 8. He's around on the server. He finds them all with a last bullet in the mag there. He finds the triple, shuts them down on the A1S, and a flawless round out here for Sinners. Keeps economy going into the sky here for the Czech side. I mean, they don't have to worry about anything for the foreseeable future.
I mean, that's why I was, so concerned about Sinners, actually, with if it was what we were anticipating, where it was Ike getting subbed out, who was gone today. That's what we were expecting, and that's why I think I was a little bit concerned. But it's that type of play from him that has, consistency, able to win even all 3 duels. That's not something you can expect every time, but Bait with another tack timeout, and I think Bait are a team who do a really good job of utilizing their timeouts, and this is a good example of that, where, are into round 8, and they've effectively utilized a couple of them already in order to try and just find some answers. A lot of teams will kind of last resort toss those in, but Bait are quick to the trigger.
They are quite quick. We've seen a lot of fast rounds coming out of Bait as well, which has been a thing that's been taking them down here and there. But maybe it will work if they find Sinners, if they take them by surprise. Alex, that's definitely going to be a surprise, though. Shutting down Beastic in through the smoke, finds the man advantage. Shock wants to trade it back, though, and Captain Kirk, the timing here is important. But there we go. It is going to be the frags being made out here by Bait. 2v5 ensuing, Oscar and 8. Right. Trying to hold it down, Alex. The peek on in, that's one onto Oscar. Does he know about the second? Not just yet. It'll be a flawless round here, Vincent, though, and it will be! So there you have it. Finally, they are back on the server, back online, and they do it in a flawless manner as well.
Yeah, Sinners just end up giving them a lot of those early gunfights, and in fairness, that's not really different than what Sinners were doing previously, but they were winning those fights in these previous rounds, and the whole round after that opening pick for Bait, Sinners are really chasing the refrag, chasing, and unfortunately they chase themselves out of the round because just everybody individually taking a couple of fights that ends up not so successful. I mean, the only exception was the ramp push, and even though they were together, they still got picked apart. So a really nice round from Bait, and it's all off the back of just an opening pick that causes a lot of mistakes, a waterfall of errors from Sinners.
Right. Trying to peek on down from Secret here. Could find the first one on a timing. MPL, though, is going to clear it on out. So let's see how this engage is going to go. And instead, they're going through Garage.
They've done this a couple of times. They've made these adjustments, and I don't think I has any clue. Look at how passive Marisko is playing. That's crazy.
This is great, because right now he could catch them off on timing. He could find a Sentinel at the very least, but he needs to trigger discipline here. As fights are breaking out onto the A side, Alex finds the double. Morishko tries to push him down, gets heard. Oh, and both of them are crouching. Now a 1P goes through, and MPL is going to trade it out. Could have been the double. Imagine if it did. But now, Ait will finally get out of Secret. Find MPL, make this one a 2v2. Head trick. Bomb on his back, and Alex is going to fall. He was detrimental to this round. Glock brought out. Hetrick got the info. Shock is low, and now, ooh, was low enough to get shut down as well. So a 1v1 between Ait and Hetrick. Problem is, though, Hetrick on 10 HP. A single bullet from that A1S or that nade could take him out.
That's true, but he has the big green.
What? Going right to the Lion's Den. This is gonna be an easy frag out here for it. Oh, for Ait. There you go. I thought for a second Hetrick had a chance, but he didn't.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think Hetrick making an understandable play considering his HP, but Ait was so late on that rotation. That's why Hetrick is so frustrated. You can see it in his camera. He's like, why is he there so late? The bomb was already halfway ticked. I don't know that he really had time to full walk that. If for example, you know, we just saw a more passive play from Hetrick, I think he probably wins out the round, which is why he's got that frustrated look. Crazy in the 2-on-2, and it's again for Sinners in these late round scenarios that they are coming out victorious.
Well, now it's 6-3. Sinners not on the greatest of buys. T-side even looking better than them. They're still the ones picking up the rounds. That's what matters at the end of the day. Morishko waiting for the peak to happen. Oh, MPL was the one aggressing, but he still went down. It was a good flash outside too. Surprised he couldn't find that frag. 5v4 now. They will be heading their way into the B-bomb side with Captain Kirka trying to be the tip of the spear here. Sinners have no one.
He's just barely gotten his way down, but that's a nice way to isolate a gunfight. Captain Kirka up ahead of the Molotov. Teammates can't claw in. Now he's got support. Marisko for 2 more. Last bullet in the chamber, and he's good for it. Alex, 1v5, cut to 4. And they're going to push his number here. Get the reload off as well. This is actually a little bit more approachable, and you can see Sinners have frozen. They aren't interested in overextending any further, giving Alex any more free gunfights. Yeah, he'll go down. And a nice recovery there. They almost got a bit overzealous.
Yeah, it would be a real big ask, a real tall order here for Alex to try to find a 1v5 ace clutch. But Morishko coming on to this round, he found the Quadra in that one, right? He is right now pulling through for the team as much as the next guy, right? Beastick is 13-7, popping off immensely here. But Oscar, Ait, even Shock, they're keeping themselves on quite a good KD, right? They're keeping themselves actually impactful out here for the team. So I'm surprised by Sinners' overall commanding presence here at the beginning of the first map, seeing as it is Bait's map pick as well.
Yeah, I mean, they do play nuke. You know, Sinners, they have a pretty strong nuke in general. It's just their win rate's not so great. But this is a performance from Beastick that is unexpected, but absolutely welcome. MPL, though, has made his way through. Marisko knows that something's up, and he's looking, but on low HP, he's got to be a little bit careful. Low on bullets is MPL. Ait's coming in to provide the support. 4-on-4. And look at all the space that Sinners have.
Morishko drops back down. The noise doesn't get made, doesn't get heard. Beastick. Oh, this time it can be everything. If he finds a Sentinel, he could have found 2. But he doesn't, so Oscar now left to try to push in through lobby, and I think this might be a safe call actually being made by Sinners. They don't have that much cash remaining, and Morishko losing out his weapon here. Oscar just catches one off guard here onto the exit, but yeah, it is going to be the safe call being made as Ait makes his... Evan, wait. It's not over yet. There's still time. He does have a defuse kit. Sees one, shuts him down, looks in for the second. Timing's everything. Can he get to the bomb side? Captain Kirk is still left alive. He's going to die with this bomb. If it kills him, it doesn't matter. But there you go. Bait finally managed to put up another round. But they made it costly out here for the Bait side.
They did, but honestly, it cost them way more. They're going to be down onto MP9s, at least a couple people, and maybe not even that. It looks like Morishko's only on a pistol, but yeah, that was costly on both sides, and I think more costly for Sinners actually. The thing about it is though, if they'd won the round, that's what they're looking for. The cost wasn't something in the back of their mind. And Captain Kirkup, a second 1v1 win for him. 2 of Bait's rounds thanks to that.
Spamming away, Oscar still manages to find the first one, even though there's a pushed up Shock out here into lobby. He's the one to find the frag, and it is going to be a man advantage here for Sinners. They're going outside. Oh, and maybe you wished you didn't. Shock finds yet another one onto Essential Diga onto the hands of Morishko. Let's see if he finds something to work with here, as he does have the information, and I think a rotate is coming through here from Shock to try to help out his teammate. Oh, and they're so close to him right now. Nothing gets heard yet, though. Shock peeking into the angle. There's going to be one onto Heaven, one out here on Hell. MPL. Can he find here anything to work with?
You're just waiting. Let them make the first decision and a mistake, potentially. That's a nice Bait setup, though. Morishko unknown. Unexpected.
Wow.
And Oscar has cut this down to just the 1-on-3 for Headtrick. Traditionally, you'd give him a shot, a chance at this type of round, but the bomb is down right now. He's going to have to go collect it up close. He's got the first, can tuck in as well, but the nade chases him at the end of it. Sinners, an incredible first half from them, and it got very close in a lot of those rounds, but 8-4 is certainly a victory that I didn't expect to see. Not so dominantly.
Hey, I mean, it was well played from either side. I mean, Bait tried to keep it together. They didn't have that great of a... Oh, they did have a great start. But once Sinners started going, they weren't really put to a stop, right? So that was a bit of a big mistake that Bait were doing. We're just playing by the hand of Sinners. They were letting this CT side take the aim duels, take the initiative. And they were trying to be overly aggressive at some point. They gave up on that try. And then, yeah, they're just getting ruled. So now, Sinners taking their first tackle time out of the game here onto halftime. 8-4, 4 rounds up. Pistol round is really important. Now remember though, Vincent, we're talking about nuke here, right? CT side and map, which makes a little bit of sense when you take a look on down to that score line. But now that we move into the pistol round and to the T side of Sinners, is there that possibility of Bait making the comeback here on their own map pick? Because I'm pretty sure there is.
Absolutely, definitely. One thing you can say about Bait as a roster is that they are a team that is never out of a game. Like they are always in for a chance at a comeback, even if it's 5%. It's absolutely there. A lot of teams will get mentally kind of knocked out, and I don't think that that's particularly true for Bait. As we're gonna get the hot molly off the rip. This is going to be an early fight potentially for Headtrick as Sinners move down into secret. As soon as they get confirmation of this secret position, I think Headtrick will probably push up.
Nothing got heard yet though, and there's people on Ram, not people on B right now. So if they push in through Squeaky here, it is going to be a fast bomb plant, and the objective of the round gets made here for Sinners. They'll be able to force buy into the next even if they do lose, but that's not their plan right now. Their plan is to wait down to a minute, then push in through Squeaky, plan away that bomb, and have people all throughout the map here to segregate these fights, take out these skirmishes. But now here it is. There's the plant, there's the push from Headtrick. And can he find anything to work with out here as the retake is coming on through here from the CD side? We're gonna be taking a look on down for the USPs coming in through ramp here to find something, and there's all 5 players mowing on down out here from the ramp position, and they're doing a great job of shutting it down here. They're just trying to play timing, and B-Stick stuck out on double doors is gonna be able to find a Sentinel on a quick one. That's the flank, and that's gonna be none left to speak of. Oscar trying to shut them down, doesn't have the angle to deny the bomb diffuser, so there you have it. 5th on the board here for Bait, and the pistol round win to take it away as well.
Yeah, both pistols in this map going Bait's direction. And I think where Sinners actually get lost a little bit is that Bait were incredibly quick about taking back that space. They already had control of lobby. Like I mentioned, that as soon as Headtrick isn't finding anybody, like they hear nothing at about a minute, like he's getting active. He's not going to just sit there and wait. They're already in lobby. There was 3 players who had grouped up ramp from the very beginning, and so they had almost instantly everybody at ramp. There was no rotations to cut off, and so I think it was Oscar who was eventually, you know, having to just rotate back down without any without any frags. He couldn't actually do anything, even though he was there to cut rotates. It's a really nice response from Bait. I think that their setup suggests that they know what the gaps are in that defense, and that they were ready with a game plan, a protocol set for what to do when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams, we expect at least some decent protocols to be coming out of them, right? Their coaches have been around for a while. Tom Keys has been doing a great job for Sinners, as far as I know. And for Bait, well, they've had some talent risen up through the rankings for a couple of years now, so Madden has done a great job. Though, shuts away Captain Kirka. This is a good start for the T side. They get the man advantage, and Sentinel peeking into this one. The Galil doesn't manage to connect on 1. Oh, but the FAMAS does on 2 with Sentinel. Well played. I thought for a second that was going to be a mistake, trying to go in aggressive and peek. But apparently, it worked out. So now you leave 8 in a 1v3 to try to find a miracle, basically, out here for Sinners to break away and to actually capitalize on this force buy.
The fact that Essential is able to just walk back in there and find a double kill is part of why he's been so good for Bait. He's, in these late round type of scenarios, fantastic at that. It's just open for a bomb plant, and he'll actually get it down. So there's different options now for Sinners with that plant that they wouldn't have had otherwise, and I think I don't know what they're waiting to look for. All preferring the Gleals over the FAMAS, I guess. But yeah, Essential is a guy that has consistently, whenever he's put to the test in those moments where he, you know, man disadvantage for Bait. They were in a tough spot. Essential needs 2, otherwise that round starts to fall apart. He not only gets the 2, but then gets the closer. He's a guy who's able to do that on a consistent level, which is why he's been so strong for this team. And even though it's not like the firepower that we talk about usually is Headtrick in PL, it's him who really delivers in those hard to win moments.
Now though, this round's gonna be hard to win as well for Sinners, I'd say. It is a hero Galil coming out of Morishko. And Vincent, the Galil at this point in time in the game is almost as good, if not even better, than an M4A4. Statistically speaking.
I mean, I don't think that's a little crazy.
I think it's just as good as an M4A4.
That's some M4A4 slander is what that is.
It is. But statistically speaking, they have kind of the same rate of fire, the same capacity, the same armor pen.
Yeah, just like a way worse spray.
Right, yeah, but if you burst it down like you would on an A1S, then it's fine, right? But yeah, we'll get back to my hot takes after this round, because it is actually Morishko falling away with that rifle. And now Sinners being put in a spot where, do they go get it back from outside on secret? Do they just try to push in through the safe side?
They've lost all map control here. There's no way, like they would have to all 4 walk out there in order to do that. They're gonna smoke themselves off. Try for a vent drop, I think. Yeah, that's the game plan. And a freebie for NPL through that smoke, but really nice work from Oscar. He knows that he's only got 25 bullets, so he's got a timing there. Wait, Oscar. He didn't go. Did he get lost in the smoke? I think he got lost in the smoke.
He went to pick up the bomb. It was dropped away, right? But then he realized, wait, I'm stuck. I'm alone and I'm dead. So
Tough.
not really too much to really think about here. It is going to be another round for Bait, and they take 3 in a row here onto their CT side. So yeah, that resurgence onto the CT side is definitely real, Vincent.
And I'm not surprised to see it. When you're talking about Bait, it's a CT side that they're very comfy on. When they win the pistol, that's where I'm like, okay, well, this game is essentially an even scoreline. Now, Marisco, he took the hero rifle last round, so he's going to have to pay the price this round, though he does get all the utility and taking just a single Tech 9, which, you know what, if you're going to hero rifle, you know what, get your utility out. Good for Marisco.
Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to play pickup, right? He's just trying to find that first frag, and apparently not playing pickup at all. Look at how aggressive he's getting with that Tech 9, and he's able to find the first Alex! Messed up the spray, left him down to 2 HP. Look at Marishko go, man. MPL down to 1 HP as well. This round is crumbling beneath the feet of Bait. And like a tremor, Sinners are making their presence heard throughout this map, even though they're not together. Not at all.
Yeah, this is the worry, actually. I mean, you say they don't need to be, but they kind of do. They might get away with it, but we've got to group up a little bit, and that's the game plan right now. Moving back towards outside for what I can only imagine is just going to be a mini walk or something like that. That's kind of what it looks like. Shock, ooh, gets the jump onto Head Trick, and even though they swapped out, MPL for Head Trick in that spot in order to give a little bit more effective HP to that area, now they can walk in together. 2-man advantage. Should be round over unless this crossfire from Essential and NPL can do incredible work.
Oh, it's not gonna work anymore. Hyde finds the first, and MPL left down to 1 HP is gonna be caught off guard by Oscar spamming through the rafters there, and there you have it. Captain Kirka better off to just try to save a better weapon than that Galil, but again, he is gonna be going straight into the crosshair of Shock. So a flawless round here for the Sinners side, brings them back into the game, and this could be an opportunity to try to find the next one and completely decimate the economy here for Bait.
Yeah, their economy, Bait, is in shambles at the moment. They're all over the place. Some players got 6K, others 2K. This is where they're at. So with things so disparate, a buy is the only idea. Plus they can get 3 rifles, 4 rifles. So it's obvious the right play, but as mentioned, not perfect and not without some concessions on the utility belts either.
At least, hey, I'm happy we get to see a defuse kit. That's usually what I look forwards into a round like this one. So the fact that MPL buys it shows his experience.
Well, a little bit of searching for NPL right there. Essential's going to go down, and that's a concern, especially when you're talking about such an important player. Alex is going to have to go big, and he doesn't. Shock with a double opener. And this is round over. Bait should be saving already.
The whole of Sinners have been looking so consistent on these pushes, especially, right? I mean, look at their stats, right? You don't only go by stats usually when you take a look at a game like this, but it's important to note the fact that everybody from Sinners' side right now is pulling through for the team. Not a single dead weight, not a single person not managing to find at least a multi-frag on a single one of these rounds. Beastic finds a double. We get to see Shock on the double opener as well, basically winning them the round as Beastic goes in and finds these exit frags. And these exit frags are very important because now it shoots Bait down to the single weapon save, and that might not even be the case. Hetrick got spotted, and he's gonna get run over here by 3 players. Let's see it.
He's gonna try to fight his way out. Get a chance, but the flashbang is fantastic. It's good enough as Marisco's gonna take him out. Oh, and not even interested in the op. I'll grab back the rifle instead. And this is a turning point for this game because Bait, they've really got one more chance to keep them in it.
Yeah.
Eco this round, that'll be 11 for Sinners. And so, buy into the next will be what they need. The goal for this round, though, it needs to be to limit Sinners' economy. 5 survived out in the last round, even as they were hunting. So they hunt 3 players down, don't take any losses. Cash is great on the Sinners side at the moment.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Even if they do manage to take down like 3 or 4 guns this round, they'll still have perfect buys coming into the next few. They're still onto the T side, and T side economy, even though it did get patched a little bit, right? Just a tad bit there, better than nothing. It's still just overwhelmingly in the favor of the T side usually, and Oscar's just farming them up out here onto the onto this round as well, right? So more cash to him, the more power, the more he gets it in the bank, and 10k on B-Stick I think tells you the situation you need to know.
Yeah, that wasn't about, you know, forcing them to not be able to buy this round, but it would have been about trying to break their economy earlier on what is going to have to be a comeback if Bait want to do this in regulation. They need now 3 rounds in a row before there's an eco forced.
Yeah. And not only that, but they need 5 in a row to even have that chance of overtime, right? Because Sinners, they just need 1 more, they take themselves to 12, and the curse of 12 is still real, just like CSGO. The curse of 15 was a thing, right? Teams usually get stopped dead in their tracks once they reach that map point. And it takes a while until they're actually able to close it out. But I don't know if this is what Bait are aiming for, this is what they're waiting for, but they definitely shouldn't. This round is important. Now, look at this push coming on down from Orishko and B-Stick at the same time. They push him through midi, and now MPL falls down low. B-Stick! That is a flick and a half going down to Headtrick, finds a headshot, then Captain Kirk is out of it too. And Essential is the last man standing in a 1v3 with a FAMAS in hand. I don't think he's gonna do a lot.
This is insane from B-Stick. This is not the form that we typically see from him. He can have a round or two usually, but this is incredible from B-Stick. Calling his shots for Sinners and absolutely dialing up his own number in this type of round and all throughout Nuke. And it's precisely this type of performance that I think Sinners needed to really take Bait on Nuke in general. And that goes back to what you were talking about, right? Everybody having their moment. Oscar's been here the whole time, continually providing that support. Shock has really turned up. There's been a couple of rounds on the T side that he's found the double entry kill, and now B-Stick as well, who's been, again, performing throughout this map. He does it again with a incredible shot towards heaven, and even gets the guy backside too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea, right? He goes in so aggressively, follows Shock's lead as one of those entry fraggers out here for the Sinner side. And look at them, they have no qualms about pushing out through this one. Complete dogfight. Alex manages to find one, but gets shut down on top of Hut. And now from a 5v5, we go to a 3v3 immediately. I thought the nade was going to disintegrate that smoke, but it doesn't. So now 2v2, Essential finds one. But Oscar's there to trade it back, and I think he knows about the second player down on Garage as well, but maybe they don't. It's B-Stick and Oscar left out here against the SMGs, who are still continuously pushing out here in towards Garage.
Oh, they're searching. Sinners are really concerned about a flank coming through, and can understand that. The good news is, okay, well, I was going to say, if he gets the information, it's his crossfire, loses track of the spray, and from the air, Essential will do the damage. Bait are saved in the 2-on-2, and maybe the first or second time this whole map, outside of Captain Kirk's clutches, that Bait have been able to convert those late round scenarios that Sinners have been supreme in.
Yeah, this was definitely a spray that could have ended off this game. Right, but there's that curse I was talking about. They hit 12, and now it is Bait getting back into the game right here, right? They're going to hit 8. They need 4 more rounds here, Vincent, to try to take us into overtime for their own map pick. But if Sinners manage to win this one and then take us into their own map pick, there is a chance, there is a talk out here at the very least, for a 2-0 into the best-of-3 series.
I mean, I absolutely would agree that there is always that chance, but and they're gonna have to close it first and foremost. Sinners gotta do the deed here on map number 1, because that last round, that was a hope and a prayer for Bait. They had 5 SMGs out of spawn. It was absolutely nothing really to work with, and so as we get back into another all-important round, all of them the same when it comes to the importance for Bait. They got one step closer. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just the first step in the line. And PL's going back to this. He hasn't really been spotted. And so I think that's why he's still committed to taking this fight. He wants to get away with it, but Mauricio with an incredible shot. He's gone down. And it's a 1-for-1. Essential over towards ramp is clawed things back. Morisco will walk through the smoke, and Captain Kirk is there to deal with it.
Oscar, don't do the same mistake and walk through that smoke. Already one of your teammates gone, taken out, and now it is going to be B-Stick left in a 1v4. Half HP sure onto Captain Kirko and very low onto Alex, but this is a tall order again. Well played this time around from Bait, though. They take a lot of fights, and those fights actually were well positioned enough to be able to win them. So we do get to see Sinners kind of just throwing themselves up against the wall, hoping for an opening frag, just like they have done for the previous couple of rounds, and it didn't really work out. But now, still, the 1v3 is online. Came on back from the 1v4. There's a bomb on the back of B-Stick. As I mentioned before, some of these players are down on their luck when it comes to the numerical values of that HP. Hetrick, however, he's full, and a full belt of util as well.
And B-Stick able to creep all the way through. All of outside taken. And this is not exactly a great setup for Bait either. Because Alex could go down relatively easily. Oh yeah, you saw it. He's there. It's like, okay, the smoke, I can get there, but I gotta wait it out. Now time's starting to expire. Headtrick still aware and inside of Hut. He's gonna try and punch in these numbers, but Headtrick will close in, deny the bomb plant. Not that it matters, but Bait stay alive. An attempted 1v4 from B-Stick goes awry as we get Sinners. Still incredibly strong money-wise. They can buy. It's not even 3 rounds. It's every round. They have money for the rest of the game. Like, overtime is required, and even then, Bait have no chance to break them. That is why those rounds where I was talking about, doing damage, getting 1 or 2 kills. That's why I was mentioning it, because it's not about winning just that round. It's not about making sure that Sinners can not buy next round. It's about the rounds 2 and 3 rounds after that. And here we see the consequences of Sinners getting 5 surviving multiple times.
Yeah, and something that I also really enjoy coming out here from Sinners is the fact that they do take away this tactical pause here, because a lot of teams, when they're on 12, they just don't usually take away that tactical pause, because they have that mentality of, okay, we're this close to the finish line, we're gonna break them off at some point either way. We're gonna find a crazy multi-frag or an opening to the pick to take us into the site at some point, right? We've got time. But you can tell the experience is just shining through out here for the Czech side, because we do not get to see the academy player actually make it. The average age of the team for Sinners is around about 22 or 23 even. So yeah, there's a lot of experience coming down to these guys, but they've already lost Ait to start things off. So maybe it is going to still get tougher and tougher to try to close this one out.
Man advantage already, though. Bait have set themselves up for success. And this is kind of interesting. Look at how separated Sinners are. B-Stick's just walking in for a fight, and he's going to win it out. Again, B-Stick is not the guy you typically rely on for that sort of entry prowess. He had some information, it seemed like, the way he was approaching that angle, and he just bests Captain Kurtka. Maurice goes all the way down, and he's clearing a lot of angles out here at B.
35 seconds. Will be trying to head on over to both of these sides at the same time, but it is going to be Oscar finding 1 on 8. Now MPL trying to push on up. Does he make the call for Hetrick to rotate? Morishko right then and there. Onto Vents as well. 15 seconds. They're trying to get onto the safe side. Perhaps drop down. Where are they going? What's going on here? 10 seconds. Not enough to get that bomb down. Shock with a bomb on back. Oscar's gonna pick it up. 5 seconds. Can he get it down?
He got it.
No, he didn't. There it is.
I mean, he had the time, is what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
he definitely had the time, but Essential comes around in from heaven. Well played, actually, out here for Bait to not overcommit to the rotates, right? Because that could have been a trap. That could have been something that Sinners wanted to do by pushing on down to the A side. They could have gone down onto B, but they had players on both sides. So well played coming out of Sinners. Well called out here for MPL. But we go into 12 to 10. It's round number 23. We've only got 2 remaining out here for the regulations. Vincent is starting to get heated up, as this might be the last buy coming in from Sinners.
Well, I mean, they're building the loss bonus, but Oscar hasn't really decided to go for this op almost at all this T side. It's just not been something that they felt like they needed. But with Oscar bringing it out this round, just looking for a way to deliver that opening pick. That's the key part that I think they're searching for. They want to find. Waiting a little bit to get these cross smokes out. Gonna get Beastic, or Marishko rather, down low into secret a little later than usual, but with that done, rotation made. Bait now have to be aware of a couple of more ideas, a couple of more angles. Ooh, there we go. That's the type of opening that Shock was giving us before.
Yeah, but it's going to be immediately traded back on the other side of the map onto Marishko. You saw Essentials' face being like, what just happened there, right? But they don't actually completely utilize this opener. Sinners down on towards Ram. They're playing it slow this time around. They're giving space for Bait to get behind that vent rotate and try to get back onto that base side. MPL asking for info here, and there's none to be heard yet, but it is going to be Alex speaking on down to WB, and it's going to be Oscar trading him out. There you have it. It's going to be a 3v2, 20 seconds remaining. Sinners completely changed their style of play here, played it a bit more slowly, and finally worked out. Shock finding the IGL, and Hetrick's left in a 1v3. This man has to be the sole ray of sunshine, the last hope here for Bait into this map. Otherwise, their own map pick goes astray, and Sinners take it. Here comes the beat going down from window. He sees one, shuts him down. Hetrick well played, but time's still running away with you. 20 seconds left to defuse that bomb, and now looking back behind you, it's gonna be the double spray down in from 8, and Shock shutting you down. Well played from Sinners as the Czech org manages to take away their enemy's map pick here on Nuke.
This is a huge, huge victory for Sinners. I mean, like
on down Bait and Sinners, and it was Bait taking it away in a 2-0 fashion. So now, is it time for Sinners to find themselves on a revenge, perhaps a rematch out here, and find themselves on a 2-0? Who knows? I guess we're gonna have to find out.
I do love the revenge storyline. I think it's a lot of fun, and I don't know. Whenever I'm a player, it absolutely plays into my head, and maybe that's just because I'm a little bit more emotional than these guys. I mean, these guys are pros, but I don't know. That's always my mindset at the very least. Sinners kicking it off on the T side. They are going to walk up Banana, and they're about to, if they continue, walk into a very nice stack and a really nice setup. No pun intended. It's a nice Bait setup from Bait.
Yeah. I mean, the name speaks for itself here as Captain Kirka is alongside Hetrick on the dualies, waiting for the push to happen. It is going to be Essential.
No smoke.
For the call out of the flash.
Oh,
as
no.
Well.
It has it. Sorry.
There is it. There's the smoke, and there's the dualies only being able to find one, as Hetrick's going to continue trying to find something of his own. Hetrick takes down 2, and Ike trades it back 2 for 2. Left remaining out here into the post plant, and it's going to be Alex and MPL trying to take it over.
They're grouped up as well for Bait. Ultimately getting a good trade out of that setup, as Oscar's going to separate a little bit. He needs to clear down Banana, but this gives time for Bait to walk in, and they've gotten across. I'd spotted, instant turn from MPL, and now Oscar's in the 1v2.
It's a nice little ding that happened already from Oscar, shutting down Alex, but now the double push, I like it from MPL and Co out here. Alex manages to do, well, to actually jump on in there and find the timing alongside MPL, but the IGL will be defusing. So Bait, again, win out all the pistol rounds so far. 3 for 3 in the best of 3.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that they win both the pistols on Nuke and unable to win the map is, I think, a really strong indicator of how strong Sinners were there. The bomb plant, though, as per usual, Sinners have consistently, their decision-making throughout this game has been to put on the pressure, to never let up, to absolutely force Bait into these tough scenarios with their money, and they've been effective in doing so. They're going to try it once again here with some deagles and armor alongside an AK for Ite. They've got the Galil that was well worth its weight in gold over in the Nuke game.
A little bit of util information being gathered on ahead here as Captain Kirka takes a little bit of chip damage. We are going to get to see Sinners try to actually command themselves over to this A side again when there is another nice stack coming out of Bait to try to deny.
Nicely done from Alex at the very least to start things off. And notice how Bait posture off the back of that opening pick. They know that there's no reason necessarily for them to overstay their welcome. They'll just fall back and wait for Sinners to make the next move as they've been tasked to do in this chess match of a round.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, I don't know who has the better pieces on the table because there could be a rotate happening from Bait, but MPL needs to hold. That flash over the top is going to be nice as the peek comes through. MPL finds one, but now here comes the push. Here comes the execution from Sinners. Oh,
wait.
Did I get baited?
Yeah, I think you did get baited a little bit. To be fair, it looked like they were about to hit the go button, but no. They just crept in slowly but surely instead. And NPL, I mean, on the lower of the HPs, he'll still hit the headshot. Now spamming through, not ideal, but Alex is good for the double. 3 in the round. And Bait ensure that everybody but one stays alive as well. That's another thing to keep thinking about. Remember how Bait, even though they were winning these rounds off the CT pistol victory on Nuke, they kept going down to like one-on-ones. So Sinners constantly had them on the back foot.
Yeah, it was the aggressive nature coming in from Sinners in that last map that allowed them to find a lot of these duels, a lot of these early skirmishes to win out these rounds. Now though, Bait seems to be doing the exact same thing, just on the other side of the map, right? Onto their CT side here, they're aggressive, and you got to see that retake happening on down to the side. Even though Sinners weren't completely on the side, Alex came through away from that smoke, and well, now into this round where it's a complete eco. They are just going to clean up house here quite easily. But yeah, Bait, they are doing a great job of actually pressuring Sinners away from their positions. But yeah, we're going to take a look on down to see how Sinners are actually going to be playing away this T side. Because they'll have to be quite dynamic to actually make an impact out here onto the scoreline.
Yeah, I actually think that, you know, they've not allowed Sinners to play into any of their, you know, positions, quote unquote, because they're in these what ultimately are kind of off angle, you know, probably work once or twice in a game type of spots. That's how MTL gets the opening pick, but nobody was anticipating that whatsoever. And well, screw it. Saying
that's nice.
Yeah, if I can't have it, nobody can.
For the second though, can he pull it off again? Imagine if he did. Finding a little bit of economical damage out here through the end. But yeah, that is nice. The idea of just throwing away that AK to not give another good rifle away towards Bait. Now they have to hold on to a FAMAS, right? I'm sure Alex would have loved an AK instead of it. And now he doesn't get it. So boo-hoo. We go to round number 4 here with Sinners on a full buy.
Last time they were on the full buy, it was just instantly dismantled. NPL got the early frag, an off angle at mid that was just taken advantage of, and now gotta go down mid just a little bit. Again, this is just a nice setup, not something that you're gonna necessarily see every round, and that's the risk that you draw when you're not gonna smoke down mid. You don't coordinate and you don't give away your play, but you also leave yourself exposed.
Yeah, and I didn't like Morishko's push out here because he did try to get into car, well, get on top of the barrels on X car. And try to find that first frag, but he took way too long, and now Beastic does kind of the same thing, just holds on down towards logs there, and as he tried to peek on in, took way too much time of actually aiming his crosshair. Captain Kurga takes a nice 1v1 duel, manages to find Shock, and Ite is going to be left standing in a 1v3 here with half HP. Decent util, great util actually. The head trick, perfect lineup, and he's going to be able to take him down. So there you have it, 4 in a row here, Vincent. It looks like Bait have gone a great start to their enemy's map pick.
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, there's a reason that they are on that win streak that I was talking about. They've been beating teams that, you know, no disrespect to Sinners, but like that I would rank above them. Like, you know, your Malos, NXTs, your Bleeds. I think that's a pretty obvious point to make, and so what is a little bit interesting for Bait here is that they, again, in that round, they're not playing their standard setups. They're doing, you know, small little micro plays that give them opening picks.
Yeah, and well, right now we're not going to be expecting anything of the sort with a round like this one, I think. But against Down to it though, Essential has to run away. 18 HP, wait a second. AK picked up by Ait. Perhaps we could see something.
Oh, Shock taking a lot more damage than necessary. I think thought that the smoke was going to bloom a little bit quicker than it did, and ends up paying a pretty hefty price, half his health for it.
Now they're winding themselves back out here through middle. They've got a whole minute on the clock, so it's completely fine to play it like this. But it is going to be Alex trying to peek onto them, spots them, Molotov on out, and now Shock still runs it down! And the Tech 9 doesn't get to do anything, but I definitely does. 1v3. It has to be the man for the job.
By the way, that's the new Molotov for the CT is actually having an impact directly. Oh, okay. NPL caught looking the wrong way, and look at the HP for Essential. He's so very low. Ite knows that he's just killed the B rotators, so there's absolutely no reason he shouldn't walk through spawn. 30 seconds, plenty of time, and Essential's not going to hear this at all. In fact, it's only when the bomb's going to go down that he's aware of this, kit in hand, but I don't even know if I would favor him. Yeah, now he knows, but such a long run.
This is such a well-played round from Ait. He goes down middle, finds those two on long. I mean, that's insane. He didn't even have... He had 4 bullets when he found the second frag, and now he's keeping at the angle as well. This is amazing coming out here for Ait as he manages to find the 1v4 clutch in the round here for Sinners. I don't even think half the team for Sinners thought it would be possible. I don't even know if I thought it was possible, but he found that double to make it real. And here you have it. This is a great round.
The Moto Smoke, I assume I threw that Moto Smoke. Yeah, it had to have been him.
Yeah.
And that just sells that he's headed towards port side. I mean, the anticipation for Bait is that he's just looking for a bomb plant. And instead, he goes for the round win, and it's exactly what's required to catch Bait napping. Fantastic from Iden. This is why, I mean, I've just, once again, it's a different game when he was in the server versus him being out of it.
Oh, and now the substitute Morishko managed to have impact as well in the game. As he finds his first frag here onto Captain Kirka. It is important that we get to see Ait on the server too, but everybody else around him needs to come up to the fight as well. It's not like they can't, it's a matter of when will they. He on boost. For now, it's gonna be Essential trying to hold on to the B-bomb side by himself.
I don't know if you would agree, but I think since changes, just the last week or two, I've seen that boost so much more than I used to.
Well, it might be because the incendiary kind of isn't as punishing because it is a bit faster, right? If it goes down towards logs, you can still get out of it quick enough and then go back if you need to.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's my theorem, but I don't know. It's all just what I've seen in a couple of Infernos.
I didn't get to see a lot of Infernos after the patch, honestly.
Well,
I was surprised to see that Nuke has been more and more played. And here we go, Shock. Oh, that is such a nasty peek on down to Head Trick.
Yeah, Head Trick dead for sure. Essential's got everything to do. NPL was prepping a flash for his teammate, but this is great from Essential. Is he gonna get away? Yeah, he's gotten away. Resmoke comes in, but a little bit of information for NPL just as that smoke plumes. Essential needs more, but he can't do it, and Shock will devastate the backline of Bait. Shock is not the one making the entries like we were talking about on their T side on Nuke, but cutting the rotations, ensuring that Head Trick can't get out. He's done them a service.
Oh yeah. Definitely so. And now, Sinners, off the back of that 1v4 clutch coming out there from Ait, now we get to see them actually be on the server. This could have been 6-0 already, Vincent, right? It could have been Bay just running away with the second map.
Yeah.
But Sinners, they're ready to pounce back.
They finally broken Bait's econ as well. That's a key indicator of Sinners being here and able to potentially equalize. They're going to have a chance to do that moving forward. This round should be relatively easy in comparison to any of the other ones. With the investment so limited. Bit of aggression coming in from Bait, though. They're going to get active on the map. Not going to hand it over to Sinners for free. That's...
I like that. I like the fact that we get to see some proactiveness coming out of Bay. Even in rounds like this, right, we get to see a Zeus coming out of Alex, which is always going to be a great deal of fun. But where is that Zeus? Oh, okay, it's down towards the apartment exit. And imagine if he catches Ite here. This could be such a big frag. Pick up the AK and try to find a round out of it. Still waiting on it. There's a huge fight happening down the middle right now, but it's the Zeus we wanted to take a look on down, and it's the Zeus that fell. So there you have it. That's the round. Sinners on 3.
Yeah, nice try. A valiant effort. We'll give him that for Alex. But yeah, this is fantastic stuff. And is Essential collecting chickens? That's great. I think he's collecting chickens.
They've got new animations now, so you would, right?
Yeah, they do. They sit down. They roost.
No. They start cooking.
I don't know if it's in like a live game, but I went into a server and when you burn them, they roast as well.
Yeah, they are. I think I've seen that. I don't want to see an op go down here for Oscar, so he's going to run away. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you do have the incendiary right now onto the chickens, they do become some roasted chicken. Again, these are the updates that we need, right, Vincent? I mean, these are the revolutionary ones for the CS2 scene.
Hey, listen,
I don't...
If they had pulled that out and only done that, then they are. They're following him. They're following him. Look, that's awesome.
Yeah, they are. Imagine just a chicken update, only that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if they had just updated chickens and nothing else, imagine the vitriol from the entire scene. Like, there might.
Mean, it's already here, right? So even more, just adding blocks to the fire.
This is a nice anti-eco. I mean, I know we're trolling a bit there, but Sinners, there wasn't much that they were up against, but making sure that they don't oversell anything, they don't put themselves in compromised positions. Absolutely great. We get down to another gun round where, ooh, bit of pace change here. NPL's gonna catch one off. He only gets one though. Lost in the spray, but a 1-for-1 and taking Oscar out of the equation as well.
Yeah, that should have been the double. I want to see Shock drop away all of his util right now, though. He's on 2 HP. It would be much better off onto Morishko and B-Stick. Right. Jumping into apartment still right now. Sinners, they've lost an important man on Oscar, right? He was trying to push up into middle out here to find that initial frag. Somehow it worked out because MPL fell down to Shock. But now... HP onto the op, not looking great, and they are still trying to waterfall down onto this A side. Things are going to start looking very, very bloody out here onto the A side in a second here, Vincent.
Or thought maybe that should be a guarantee for Alex, but Ite's bested him. Headtrick's going to have to go for a multi. He's done so already. Needs a little bit more to work with. Is he still on the site? And wait a second, look at how far back Shock is. He's just not even in this fight.
Yeah, he's not. Morishko manages to trade on down at least one head trick down to 8 HP. If Shock can find Captain Kirka and bring out the Glock, this could still be around. But he doesn't have that sort of info, I believe. 25 seconds too as well. Needs to pick up the bomb from Graveyard, and he's going to be able to find Captain Kirka. Oh, the nade! No way! He wins the round, Shock! Look at Headtrick's reaction. That would be mine as well. How did Sinners just manage to win this round?
I mean, that's absurd. He gets away with it. That's the utility that maybe he was thinking about dropping, but no, he's got it and on lockdown. That's incredible coming through from Shock, and a weapon you don't typically see him on for obvious reasons. Oh, big missed opportunity there for Alex on Mini Pit.
Look at this. Wow. The fact that Headtrick was down to low HP as well, right? I mean, Shock did it on 8, or what was he on? Was he on 8? I think he was on 8 HP.
Yeah.
To pull off that clutch, so amazing. Amazing round coming out here for Sinners. And this is already the second game-defining clutch that we get to see. No, the chicken exploded.
We're chicken lovers out here, guys. We really are.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, going back to the game-defining clutches, right? I mean, Sinners, if they didn't find that 1v4 from Ite, they wouldn't have gone back into this game already, and if we didn't get to see that out of Shock, then Bait would have had the initiative back on the table again, and this wouldn't have been an eco. This would be a full buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really incredible swings, like much larger swings than we saw in Nuke, but it's actually the same storyline. Because think about how often Sinners were winning in 2v2s or like, you know, even just a 1v1. They were almost always coming out successful, especially in the first half. That is what, you know, brought them back into the play on that map too, and it's continued here.
Here comes a B push though. Let's see if it's going to be denied by Captain Kirka with anything to work with. Captain Kirka finds B-Stick. IGL taken down. Essentio trying to back him up on the hand cannon, but won't be able to connect on anything more. Where's the bomb though? Okay, it's going to get planted onto default by Oscar.
This is already round over. Bait are looking for exit frags at this point. And, you know, best case scenario, maybe they could find an AK to grab and shepherd into the next round, but I don't think there's any reason for Sinners to actually head towards CT. For that reason, they'll probably be exiting out towards the banana side of things. Really nice from Sinners. I think that this goes back to what I was talking about for Bait, how on their gun rounds, they were, you know, kind of creating some gimmick plays, which there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely, and I think it's actually a really great way to find a early lead in a game, and then you can start that snowball, which Inferno is really actually known for. You know, CT side snowball can be a big deal, but unfortunately, when you're losing in those types of clutch scenarios, you can't find a gimmick to win there, and Bait allowing Sinners the opportunity to go for those clutches, and Sinners just knocking that out of the park.
Yeah, the gimmick doesn't always work out, does it, right? I mean, it's always a gamble when you try to go for those flashy plays, when you try to go in for those off-the-book, kind of off-the-record sort of ideas. But hey, that's how you grew, that's how you evolve, that's how you grow in the scene, that's how you grow in the game. So better off to try them rather than not and regret it later. Either way, it's round number 10 here, and it will be a full investment from the CT side as well. 5 in a row here for Sinners. How many more do you reckon they're going to get out here into the half, Vincent?
You know, it's hard to say. I think a lot of it comes down to this round, actually. Not because Sinners are about to be money broken or anything, but I think that Bait need a confidence boost. I think that they need to find a bit of their momentum back, recover that, and that's where they could stall out Sinners, because what a comeback it's been. Sinners down 4-0.
Yeah.
And 5 in a row on the trot.
Yep. Shock, though. He's done these before, man. He's had such amazing openers so far. If he finds this one on the head trick as well, what else can we say to the man? Looking on down for the peak. Shock only goes in as far as Boiler allows him to. Smoke on down towards long, Molotov on down towards short. Now he needs to check for head trick, and it's gonna be head trick trying to take him down. Shock does it again, man. And there you go. Traded out by Alex, sure, but this is huge already in of itself. Brings out the manpower advantage onto that A site from 3-2 for the Bait side. And Sinners, they have to go somewhere.
That they do. And where to go? There's still time, actually, to work their magic anywhere they want. A little bit of an interesting back and forth. Yeah, Essential very committed to that fight. As the smoke fades, Morisco had an isolated duel, and it's forced back Captain Kirka. And look at MPL. He's like in between B and A, thinking maybe it's going to be towards B. But as soon as this motor smoke comes in, that'll be the go-ahead move. But they're going to be too far away. And so Alex, he's got it all to do. 3 players in front of him.
10 seconds as well. He shuts down the IGL. The second one could have been a frag too, but Ait connects on the shots. And now low HP remaining out here for Ait and Morishko. The bomb needs to go down 3 seconds. Morishko, great position out here for the post blind. Captain Kirk, I don't think he checks this. He goes in through archways. He peeks and he will not go down. Morishko messed it up, and now it's only left to Oscar. And the 1v2 needs to shut down one, and he does so. Sees the second, doesn't connect, loses the off battle. And there you have it. Captain Kirk finally brings it back for Bait.
That's incredible from Captain Kirk. He had some critical 1v1s on Nuke, and he's done it again here, turning the tide. Again, that's the momentum type of play that I was just talking about. He's always the guy who he's not going to be at the top of the scoreboard, but he delivers in the big moments. He delivers when he's required, and every time he's got a double kill, it's a really incredibly high impact one at that. He does it for bait once again, and Captain Kirk, this is the frag that just is absolutely devastating for Morisco and his confidence level. I thought Oscar, I mean, he made it possible, but they don't get away with the back-to-back 1v2s.
I mean, honestly, that 1v2 was looking very doable for Oscar. At some point, I thought he was just gonna blindly shoot in through that smoke and actually catch off Captain Kirk before the push, but yeah, it didn't happen. And now we go into the next round where Captain Kirk keeps it going. Found the double, shutting it out onto Banana, and it is going to be Sinners down on their luck after finding 5 in a row, apparently.
Yeah, like I said, a momentum swing absolutely is the difference maker here. Alex grabbing another to add to the tally. Was maybe a little bit more approachable in a 3-on-5, now a 2-on-5. Bad news here for Sinners in more ways than one. Because I think if they don't, I mean, they have the money, they could go for this, but it's such a difficult situation. I think they're not interested.
Yeah, and at the same time, you know, it's the penultimate round of the first half. I would have liked to see a Shock and Oscar actually go for something. If you're able to find a 1v4, you're able to find a 2v5, right? And now they're actually going to be trying it, but Captain Kirk, he's not stopping, right? He's already found the triple into this round. Shock wants to find a 1v4 of his own. Let's see if it's doable. Let's see if it's possible. 20 seconds remaining. Smoke on down to the side, and he's doing it with an AWP. Shock, the crazy.
He doesn't know.
For him? Yeah, no idea. Okay.
That's a tough one for Shock. I felt like anytime there's been a clutch though for Sinners, the way they're playing, I'm actually willing to suspend my disbelief. I'm right there with them, and that's why I thought it was important for Bait to win that round previously, where they just needed a bit of a confidence booster. They needed to make sure that they were the ones to have that kind of confidence, because they're normally the guys that, I mean, I talked about it in when I was doing an analyst desk for a game last series for Europe, and it's like when Hetrick and NPL or either of those guys are in like a 2v4 or anything like that, I'm backing them at least a little bit.
I mean, how could you not, right? Because MPL, Headtrick, they are names, they are the names coming out of Bait that you're expecting to pull through on big moments, on big clutches, right, on big plays in general. So yeah, I get it. I feel like that's fair enough to go for.
A little bit of damage there to MPL as he's fallen back. This is good control, very early control for Sinners over towards A, but they've neglected Banana to do so.
Because of that, we have 2 players from Bait's side that could try to push into them. We still do get to see, I do believe that is going to be Morishko trying to hold down on Banana, as we've already made great headspace out here for Sinners onto long, and they're pushing it through archways. Let's see, Headtrick finding the first, looking in for more. Can he find it? Yes, he can.
Yeah, Oscar, I mean, he was in a bad scenario there. He had to go aggressive. Doesn't do so. Now Alex has the crossfire set with NPL. Morisco's actually broken it up, impressively so, but NPL will continue to push forward. He's not done yet. And it's Morisco all alone.
There we go. Morisco to fall. It's going to be a 7-5 split on the half. Better off than the first map, much better out here for Bay, especially on their enemy's map pick, but now Sinners go to their CT side. And also, something we didn't get to talk about here, Vincent, is the fact that Bay willingly chose to start off onto their CT side, right? Even though a lot of teams do prefer the T side on Inferno here. I don't know if that's the case for Sinners, however. I'm going to check that real quick. But yeah, it's still something that we really have to think about a little bit, because now, as we swap sides, in theory, Sinners should be a bit happier to start off onto the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, that's the case. I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, it's a slightly better win rate for Sinners on their CT side. What's really interesting is for a map that they have like a positive win rate on. I mean, not it's 50% ish, but for a map that they're near positive on, the fact that they have a negative win rate on both sides is kind of wild. But that's neither here nor there. Pistol round underway.
Ooh. Shock messed up a little bit there on the push, but it is going to be Beastic able to trade out one out here for their troubles, and it is going to be the bomb plant most likely happening really quick out here from Bait. Shock scared to get out of apartments, out of balcony apparently. He's waiting for his team to push first.
So this is a post plant that's really important for Bait. They've got themselves into good spots, but they're going to have to force Sinners to close the distance. That's where their win condition is, that they can't take these fights too early, but they can't just let them walk in either, and that's where they're in trouble. And Trick's going to tuck back in. Shock moving forward, and this is the back and forth, the push and pull. They're running out of time. Are Sinners. They've got to move, and move they do, but death is where they're finding themselves. Oscar, he's got the kit. He's going to stick.
No way.
And Captain Kirk
really
again.
Close.
How many times is Captain Kirk going to clutch in this? That's 4, I believe.
He's 13 and 8 as well, right? He's not only found the clutch kills, but he's also been impactful when it comes down to the mid round. So, well done out here for Captain Kirka. This is a great performance that we get to see out of him. But most importantly of all, Bait have won 4 out of 4 pistol rounds.
Oh, you're right. That's, again, incredible when you consider their down amount, but even more so that Sinners just haven't been able to pick one up. They timed themselves out on that pistol more than anything. They had the kit, and I think that because they had the kit, they could wait a little bit. They could play their time a bit more close to the vest, but they waited too long.
Yeah, and also the fact that Sinners, you know, struggled to actually find the initial frags. If Shock managed to find the first, and then Beastic came in through library and found the next, then perhaps that round would have been a bit more doable. But now we get to a B-bomb side rush, which looks to be stopped a little bit by those smokes and by the stack coming out here from Sinners, as Bait are just baiting around apparently.
Well, no, to be fair, not doing a lot of that in this round as they stick together. Just a death ball walking up mid. And unfortunately, Sinners have actually made the wrong call. They rotate an extra man over to the B site where there was already 3 strong. Shock is going to join them, and Eitz alone. MP9, as I don't know if we mentioned it, so I was distracted for a second, but the fact that Sinners continue, even on their CT side, to keep these forces up, it's just another continuation of their game plan to force Bait into economic hardship.
Now, that is a point to make, but however, if he manages to find Captain Kirka there, it could be a talk for a retake. Although he's not peeking out, he's not going for it. This might just be a full man save coming out of Sinners if I can get out of here.
I mean, it already is. Look at where they're at. And the reason that you want to do this is that, especially on Inferno, I think it's really effective for multiple reasons for them to stack a site. If they don't get it right, then they get an extra force buy. They just get a free force out of this next round, and it's going to be even better now that they have a Galil to add to the equation.
Yeah.
And this force buy makes their first gun round of the half infinitely stronger as well.
But now, as we head into this round, round number 15, right? If Bay managed to win this one out, it's going to be double digits, all fine and well out here for the Ukrainian squad. However, Sinners, if they somehow manage to pick this one up on the bonus, imagine here, Vincent, that we could get to see that comeback potential that we got to see out of Bait on Nuke happen here for Sinners. And maybe they're going to be able to actually take it over the top. Now, these are a lot of what-ifs. These are a lot of tries, but MPL already starts things off with Alex with a nade on down towards Banana, so perhaps not going to be that easy as I'm imagining it.
Well, certainly not off the rip, that's for sure. Sinners also adjust their game plan, their strategy into this round. Before they were stacking really aggressively early. Now that they've lost somebody, they're going to go back to that stack forward towards the A site. And that is actually where the bomb is leaning, or at least it was a moment ago. It's moved back the other way. Head trick towards Banana. But again, Sinners hoping to get lucky, hoping that they've guessed correctly, and right now it's a hard no on that guess.
However, it'll be another save, right? Economy is the name of the game for it. If Sinners were able to pick up 5 rounds in a row before, they're going to be banking on the fact that they're going to be able to do it again out here onto their CT side. And otherwise, it's probably going to be a map picked up here for the bait side.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think you do look at what Sinners have, and I think some would ask the question, why are they saving? They're going to be mine next round regardless. But they have armor on just about everybody. There's a lot to like here, and utility. They've got a kit as well. Onto like all of these little things, they're going to save them bits of cash. So as much as this gun round for Sinners would be almost the end-all be-all, otherwise, if they can save all of these weapons, it's no longer the case because they're going to have that extra economy to fall back on.
Spotted now. I would also upgrade away to a rifle in the next round, but if you found an extra frag there, would have just been that tad bit better. Now, you can drop away an MP9, that's not really the issue. Oscar, however, is going to stick onto it, buy up the util, and try to save away for that AWP into the next round if they do manage to win this one out. So, at least they do have a game plan going on here. However, lost bonus maxed out for a while now. Bait managed to win 3 in a row onto their T side, and look at the amount of cash they've got, Vincent, right? I mean, there is not a single opportunity to have a talk about Bait being broken out here if they manage to win out even one more round. I'd say Sinners are definitely going to be down on their luck, but here comes the push down on middle, and it is going to be Bait trying to find that opening frag, connecting onto Shock, and now I trades it back. How many more can you go for here? And it's going to be 0. You only find 2. A side completely breached on down by Bait. And now it's going to be a 2v3.
Look at all of the utility that they have for this post plant. The first smoke's already down. They've got another smoke for Moto if they wanted to. But wait, Alex gets burned alive. He had just gone on to the site in order to get the plant, and suddenly this all changes things. Timing as well. Thinking about going through the Moto smoke. Beastic on the rotation. Gonna be a little bit unexpected, and the bomb's yet to go down. Essential's got so many angles to look out for. The 1v2 required, and head trick will fall. The Molotov that burns Alex saves the day.
It does save the day, right? There would have been a spam from the A1S either way if that Molotov didn't go through, but I don't think it would have reached the low HP Alex. The idea here behind is, why did they send Alex on like 8 HP or 10 HP, however low he was, to go and plant away that bomb, right? There could have been someone else that actually managed to get away, and there would have been another player to start shooting their gun. But apparently, that wasn't the call being made. Bait send him out to the gutter, and it is going to be Sinners picking up their 6th.
I mean, I do think there's good reasoning there. Right? You're a low HP player. You want that guy not to be the one taking a gunfight. So you have your high health player taking those fights that may come through if they were to force their way into the site while the bomb is getting planted. So I think there's some thought process there. HE into the smoke as Oscar was double scoped. Loses his life because of it.
Now Shock might lose his as MPL peeks on down from second mid. Taken on out, already a 2-man advantage here for the T side. Bait that a 3-man one as Bait, one by one, they find these skirmishes, these duels. They managed to win them all. Oh my goodness, this is just going all sorts of wrong for Sinners. They barely managed to put up a round onto their CT side, only to then be immediately eliminated by Bait once again.
A bloodbath of a round, and when Bait 5 survive, everybody down. Sinners, they only had, remember, 2 remaining players after that last round. Their money's also not great. And I don't know what the right decision for Sinners is here. Half buy next, but you're giving up 12. It feels bad no matter how you do dial this up. Sinners are in trouble. And I don't know that they'll be able to bail themselves out. The the fact that Sinners get away with some incredible clutches and it's still such a dominant game from Bait. What does that leave them?
Well, apparently 2 MP9s and a CZ.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. It's a scrappy one, but they have to eco, right? I mean, as Bait get to 12, if they get to 12 here, which they in theory should, Sinners, they'll be trying to just find themselves over to 6 rounds in a row to take themselves into overtime, but this is a nice start from Beastic. Even though he falls to 2 HP, he doesn't go down to that nade, so he can drop away the AK, or the MP9, I guess, towards Marishko. There's the MP9 pickup back again. Now the push down towards brackets. Control has been taken. Bait just trying to push down onto long, and it's going to be Oscar on the CZ trying to get the info. Has it. Now backs away. Bait, what do you do?
Alex is about to phase the smoke. Yeah, as it fades away. He's got to look at it. Oscar repositioned. Much better spot for a CZ, that's for sure, but he's gone down as well. Ike from Pit. MP9, only the 1-for-1. And the AK from Marisco is great, but they're stuck on the other side of the map. Numbers will get punched in, and a careful approach from Bait on their anti-eco round to ensure that they get another. 12 is guaranteed. The center CT side, I don't even think there's any criticism to be leveled at it, because they haven't had a CT side. Like, they've had, what, 2 gun rounds? I think. That's it.
Yeah.
Lose the pistol as well, so that's eco. They lost an extra round because they were force buying. They gambled wrong on both of those force buys at the wrong site. Like, I don't even think they've been able to play the game, to be honest with you.
Well, they definitely, that's why I've been saying they've been down on their luck, because a lot of these rounds, they were just unlucky, trying to find the right stacks, trying to find the right positions, but at the same time, there were a lot of plays where you could have gone to see a multi-frag go through, you could have gone to see a little bit more of a faster rotate, a bit of a better play coming down from Sinners. So yeah, maybe they weren't allowed to fully play away their game, but they didn't really play their own game here. Even though it was their own map pick, Bait just are running away with it onto this Inferno, and I think that Ancient's gonna be interesting, right? Because we got to see Bait versus Sinners before on Ancient, and that ended off very well for Bait.
Ooh, nice timing.
13-7 actually.
These Molotovs, I mean, I'm not sure how they're not doing damage, because I feel like they were both in the right spot and neither of them ticked anyone. That's unfortunate. Oscar is going to at least climb back into this round with 1 to try and equalize, but look at how well Sinners are being kept over at A. Alex has kept 2 players there, and the site has been had.
Yep. So right now, Bait, they get themselves into a post-buy yet again, 3v3. Shock trying to come back through CT. It's going to be Oscar in a quite sneaky position with the AWP, trying to find one onto the side, but Essential still looking down for him on towards Church. And everybody's coming in through CT or Church. This is going to be tough for Sinners to try to retake, especially down to the B-bomb side for Inferno. As time's ticking away, they don't have enough of it. You have to go right here, right now. Oscar peeks and goes on down. Essential finds 1 NPL on the second. And I think that's GG on the second map of this best of 3. Sinners manage to find the first, but Bait will be able to deny them the end of this best of 3 and send themselves over to Ancient as the decider.
It's all the little things in that map that really interest me. You know, on the one hand, at the moment, as we jump into that knife round, I think Bait would love to be able to get that CT side start. That is where their bread and butter is.
And they do get it. Actually, we didn't get to see the knife round, but oh, actually, we are getting to see it. What am I talking about? There we go. We're finally going into it. I thought for a second we were already into the pistol. But also, something that I do want to mention here, Vincent, is the fact that, yeah, sure, Bay have played a lot of Ancient, but so have Sinners. This is their most played map in the map pool right now. 19 maps played and a 58% win rate. They're positive. They're over 50. So that is really what counts out here. And it is going to be, looks like, the CT side for Sinners to start things off.
Nicely done. I mean, you know, I don't think that, you know, getting the right start is necessarily as important for teams of this caliber, because, you know, especially for Bait. I know we keep talking about it, but they're constantly in game. They're constantly playing, so they aren't going to be in a situation where if they lose an early half that they're out of a game. But it always helps. It's that it can be that little extra thing to push you over the edge, and this is something Sinners have done a bunch of times. I've noticed a consistency here. They love to take attack time out on a pistol round. They do it a lot, which is interesting. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know what the thought process is, especially for a first half pistol, but they do consistently pull it out.
We see Beastic being quiet as well into this tackle pause. This makes me think the coach is actually telling them what to be doing out here into this round, and probably it's another one of the. Ooh, I was about to say probably it's just one of those rounds where the coach just really wants to drill it in that the pistol round is important, but apparently Oscar signaling that he does have an issue, and it looks like somebody's coming in to check over. Hopefully everything's okay. The addition of webcams out here, honestly, for the playoffs have been such a nice little thing to take a look on down to, because we know what the players actually have got going on, what the problem is. But yeah, there we go. Looks like the issue was really easily solvable, and now we go into the 5th pistol round of this best of 3. Will Bates take it over again?
Yeah, staying flawless in a full 3-map series and pistols would be sort of absurd. It's not very often that you'll see something like that happen. But they have a chance to do so here and now, and it's going to be towards the B site. Relatively fast. Yeah, just smoking a couple flashes to send them on in. Oscar's here. And a little bit of a team flash there. Actually, it's Beastic who tosses some support flashes for his teammate. He'll go down, though, and a 1-for-1 trade. Initially, those go the way of Bait as they continue to push forward. A teamed kill as well. Keeping it even.
Oh my goodness, what was that frag? Away from the corner, Ike managed to get it, and they win out the pistol round as well. The curse has been broken. Sinners managed to finally win out a pistol round here, Vincent.
I know, and it's a bit silly the way that it happens. A little bit of a TK in the process of that one does make it a little bit easier. They weren't trading as efficiently before. They had lost out on that long fight, and if Bait had the numbers to flood, I think they probably win it. But taking advantage of a little bit of a mistake is just fine. Though Bait do get the bomb planted, and so yeah, Sinners not out of the woods yet, as we know. They've been the ones putting the pressure onto Bait because of these pistol wins, but now Bait get a chance to do that back on the other side of it.
Shock with the MP9 to be the first one to find something. MPL, he was not checking for the left side of that cave position, and now man advantage will be taken out here by Sinners, and I was about to say that Oscar might just be fighting himself off on this a second, but he doesn't peek down towards Ram. Are IT? Okay, I'm gonna get to that conversation later down the line, because the round still keeps on going, and we've got Bait really split up. They went in for a 3-2 setup out here for BNA respectively, and now they just look to try to go back down towards the A site.
Yeah, but the smoke is stalled them out a little bit. They're falling back off of that position. And despite MPL being down, it's not a bad opportunity for them to still win this round, especially if Shock falls. That's what presence there was towards mid, now gone. And the smoke to cover off House is the final smoke in the round for Bait as well. Unless they can grab one off of Shock. I don't know if he had one, but I don't think so.
Bait Conga lining their way in through ramp and trying to push down Oscar. Here it comes. Here comes the execution. I think it has been heard. It's going to be Oscar on one, looking for the second. Can he find it? No, he can't. Looks away. And now Beastic at least manages to trade it out, but it's going to be Ite finding a Sentinel. This making it a 2v1. Head trick, just trying to stay alive onto this one. Galil and Han looks down towards Cave, spots out Ite, and now needs to check in for CT as well. Spots the MP9. And a 2v1. There's the peak. Coming on down here for Sinners, making the second round count here for the Czech side.
That's a really nice way to approach that 2v1 as well from Sinners. It could have been a very dicey moment if Head Trick could have isolated that, but I think the Cave player in IT was doing a great job of being hard to get, making sure to swing off the back of his teammate, the communication really on point, and that is another one of those rounds for Sinners that is really important to continue this run up through on Ancient. But the bomb plant and the continuation of the force buys is something to touch on once again. Because Bait, they get the bomb down, and they're doing it again.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Shock and Morishko and Ait are in the same room as Beastic and Oscar. Because Beastic and Oscar are playing with no lights there.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But yeah, right now it is going to be Bait on another one of those forced rounds, right? They always get the bomb down, so would expect them to always try to go in for these forced buys. They have worked out in the past, not amazingly, but they have worked out to win out the round. That's what's important.
I mean, this was Sinner's game plan on Nuke that ended up working a treat. So Bait gonna give it back to him just as good. And they've successfully gotten out of the early round without losing anybody, whilst actually taking some good map control as well, which is the hardest part, I think, of Ancient in the early round for a T-side that doesn't have utility, is getting out of the early round and ensuring that you can get a chance at the site itself.
Yeah. Well, going to be something that we have to see out here to the A side as well. It's going to be a 2v5. Moving on down here for Morishko and for Ait. And he's 4-0. He's looking good.
Going to add to that tally as well. Going to be pushed in between a couple of angles, and Ait goes 2 for 1. Enough to even the odds as Beastic comes through CT. He'll do the damage. 2 found. 1 more on the cards as Sinjul, required to hit the 1v3, doesn't even get the chance to. Oscar on the quick trade. And Sinners, well, this time they do deny the bomb plant. This time they ensure that there is really not a chance of that continued investment.
Now, though, seeing as they are continuing round after round here, Sinners flying 3 in a row. They managed to force Bait into the eco with the Tech 9s and Mac 10s. And they have a great start on Ancient, right? I mean, Bait, they were looking down to try to start onto that CT side. They didn't. They're trying to make the most out of their T side. But what do you feel like is a respectable half out here on Ancient? For the T side to end off the half.
I mean, I really think it matters a lot more about what kind of team you are and the way in which you get to that scoreline than the number itself. Because
But here for Bait, I mean,
I'd be targeting at least 4, but again, always gonna want as much as you can. We'll use these pistols. Close the distance pretty well in addition to that.
Morishko flashed away, not checked to the back of the site though. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Captain Kirka, thank God he's on the Tech 9. Be able to spam that away as Sentiel through the smoke finds Oscar 2, and now
got the
it's
bomb.
getting scary for Sinners.
Sinners have the bomb though. They've had it here for just a hot second. Captain Kirka able to get there, but great idea. He's not looking. Captain Kirka with an incredible read. He just waits that extra little bit of time, thinking that they might go for that boost, and punishes Sinners.
He was looking down towards the smoke. Could have been a smoke walkthrough as well. But instead, it's left to Shock in a 1v2. Needs to find the Quadra to win this round. He does have the fuse kit. He does have the smoke as well. But on a site like this, you can't really go for a ninja. Double peek, and it's going to be 1 from the Galil, but the second one trades him out. Captain Kirka again on another clutch, on another multi-frag. This man finds a triple into Ancient to get Bait their first round. So Captain Kirka back online. Things are going to start looking scary for City.
Yeah, he keeps putting it together, and I mean, a constant factor throughout this entire series is this was looking to be pretty good, especially when Morisco gets flashed in. This is the round-winning play, though, from Captain Kirka. Normally, the game plan there, just to get the bomb down. Instead, he's playing a little bit risky by sticking around, but he's, if he gets away with it, ensuring a 2v1 and what should be a round victory as long as they're able to trade effectively as they are. It's Oscar on an op, and he's going to get a tag on a head trick, but he's the only really big weapon available for Sinners in this round.
I mean, a big one and a good one. If he manages to connect on at least 2 shots here, then it can still be very doable for Sinners. He went in back for more. He got kind of greedy, so Oscar's going to fall. Morishko wants to pick up the rifle, and he will. Scope now on Morishko. MP9 onto Shock as he's going to fall down towards Cave. Basically opens up B here for the bait side. Will they actually be going in for it? Morishko, Leo in hand, and Knight already losing out a little bit of HP. His position spotted. This is gonna get tougher and tougher as the timer runs out here for Sinners to actually try to hold, because Bait want to push on him.
Well, Mystic, though, his life made very difficult, and now just go on the covered op. Only will get a tag. 1v3 again, but he's got so much damage done. Oh, the nade nearly does deliver, but beheaded by head trick. It's Bait on the round, and so very close. Voicing his frustrations to his desk and letting him know that he knew it was close. Oh, the HP, 15 between them both.
Yeah. Imagine if he knew that. Imagine how annoyed, even more annoyed he'd be. Because I know I would be, right? Coming in with the MP9, finding those doubles onto Cave, those were the big ones. The site was just left out here to try to find down to the post plant. And they were even lined up. If he had pre-fire, that would have been the round. But again, it's ifs and whats and maybes. Because right now, a tactical pause coming through for Bay. They realized that was way too close of a round. And they lost a couple of good players as well. So, economy is still looking decent, right? They've gone in for the full buy. However, Sinners, we do have to eco. And it should be looking like a 3-3. This Ancient's going to get close, Vincent. I think we're going to get to see this one actually going all the way.
I get that same feeling. It's just a little inkling in the back of my head, but I'm feeling the same way. Sinners on this eco, though, will be on USP's out mid. Double nade, great protocol there. That does indeed stop the attempted push, though I don't even know if they were even trying to that. This is a crazy little Astralis-esque boost stack situation, but well handled. I do like it, though. I think that the reason that can be good is that it doesn't allow the double nade to have value, and it's something that is rarely going to be seen. Like, you don't see a lot of people there nowadays because the way that the smokes are. It doesn't work so easily to like phase or to try and one way a smoke like you used to in Go.
And definitely not in that position, right? Coming in for double doors, because there can always be a smoke deployed and you can always head over the top of it. But yeah, it was a nice attempt overall out here for Sinners, going in for the Astralis stack on mid. But it is going to be a aggressive peek on out from MPL, losing out his life very early on into the 7th round. As Alex falls down to 22 as well. It looks to be an A hit, but they're not that confident in it.
May not look confident, but I think they're just trying to get all of the right people in the right positions. They're going to go a little Bogdan's Law here for Alex, who's on the low HP. And I do think that they're ultimately looking to go for this A hit. It's just about the right timing.
They lost their window of opportunity, though. Right when MPL fell down on middle, they already had 3 players up into Temple out here into main to try to push up. They didn't, so now you get to see Oscar on the side. You get to see Ait out here on Temple. Right, much easier to try to take over than it might have been beforehand. Of course, they didn't have that sort of information, but now as the smoke lands to the back of the side, it's going to be the Molotov down towards Temple. And now here comes the push. Bait manages to find the first one onto Ait, and it's going to be Oscar trading it out.
He's going to have to go back, though, into the smoke and donut. Giving up a little bit of space, but denial of the plant. Morisco's got it lined up. Used to be a little bit more safe in that position. No longer the case. And the smoke has faded away. So Essential will have to actually take a duel here in order to have that space to work with, and yeah, they're just gonna save this.
Yeah, they have to. Right? I mean, it's such a tough situation to be in. 2v4, you can barely get onto that site, and you know there's at least one player down on Donut. They're not taking that risk.
No, they are not. I do like the call to save, though. And ultimately, I think you're right, right? They ended up missing their window of opportunity, as you mentioned. And it wasn't necessarily going to be round ending until the bomb gets denied. And they're out of time, out of utility. No resmokes available. Really nice recovery there for Sinners. And on a round where I think that they didn't even take a lot of space. Like they had most of B control, but they just stopped. They weren't willing to take any additional risks, and they just trusted that their two players on A were going to be delivering, and they do.
They do. Right. It's a great time out here for Sinners to be consistent. It's a great time for them to keep up their stats and keep up their aim, especially, right, their mechanics. But something that I do want to mention is the fact that we've already seen 3 tactical pauses in between these two teams out here for Ancient only, and it's only been 8 rounds. And they haven't really had that much of an impact. Neither did they have an impact on Inferno, neither did they have an impact on you. So I'm wondering, what's going on in these tactical pauses, right? Are they just not listening to what their coaches are telling them, or just no structure being played out?
I do think it's really hard to, like, make that statement. Well, hold on a second. We'll get back to it, because Oscar, with a 3-man setup to provide him support in mid, Morisco tags in. He'll take NPL out, and there's one man left trying to fight through the mid elbow smoke, but Captain Kirk has got to give it up. And it might be still really early in the round, 1:20 left, but Bait are stuck in a position that, honestly, they have a late B hit strategy that's their only option.
We're safe. Right.
Well,
for the next round.
Yeah, but anyway, the point I was making there is that I do think it's hard to tell. Like, a lot of those things are going to be just in-server stuff that isn't easily seen.
Of course. That's why we have to ask ourselves, like, are they able to communicate properly? Are they able to have decent morale to actually listen to their IGL, listen to their coach, and change around what they need to change? Or even think that they need to change at all here for the round to be won.
Well, and with one additional man going down, the save call is already been made.
Yeah.
Where Sinners are finding some of their biggest successes are in this default. They've been able to give a bunch of different looks towards Bait from the CT side. The triple mid setup is something that they really haven't been playing previously, but it works a treat in this round. They get away with a couple of kills down mid. Upgrade as well there for Ike. Nice find. And this is an Oscar on form as well. Missing piece, I would say, from Inferno in particular. Loss bonus, though, for Bait. Means that they could just keep buying, especially with 2 saves. And I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they're invested.
I mean, they tried that before, though, and we got to see a lot of force buys continuously coming through out here from Bait. And it kind of paid off out there on Nuke. But now, either way, Oscar manages to find the first B-stick. We'll be looking in for even more out here to add to the tally of Sinners' casualties in this round. Well, to Bait's casualties, I guess, into this round. As Shock plays it out for info. Replants that smoke. And now, Bait, they've taken lane control. How much will that really help them?
I think on paper, it should help them a lot, but you still got to be worried about Shock, who, in particular, has, like, you talk about, like, position players that play a position particularly well. Shock is one of the guys that is really strong on the CT side for Sinners here in Jaguar. This is the reason. He's just constantly able to win fights, whether he's fighting through smoke, getting aggressive, or playing more passively. He's always finding success, and he does it again here.
gonna be able to find a second even, handle one more bullet in the mag, brings out the USP, leaves Headtrick down to half HP. Yeah, another round going the way of Sinners. They make this one from a 3-3, even Stevens, to a 6-3 now. As Headtrick has to save away to the CWP. No cash remaining and available here for Bait. And he is in such a tough spot because Ait is actually going in after him and B-Stick is also ready to hunt. So now just spamming, spraying and praying. Headtrick wants to stay in the corner and does manage to find one. Will be traded out by Morishko.
Sinners, they are putting together a very strong CT half. And credit due across the board, I think, for this Sinners roster. I think B6 actually calling a really nice CT side. The way that they've been able to consistently have the right read of situations. They're never weak on the site that's being hit. And in fairness, I do think Bait have had a really one-dimensional T side thus far. Whenever they're pressured, it's really quite clear when it's a default, when they're going to make a commitment. Commitment made this time over towards A.
I mean, they have nothing to lose, right? They go in for the full eco, so of course they will be going in for the commitment. 1-for-1 trade though, coming on back. Morishko shuts down Essential, and now Headtrick even finds another. If you can find one more frag into this one, then it's a great eco round, and you even find a headshot on down to Oscar, who was full HP. Never mind, Shock was down to 5. This actually could be a round for Bait.
Oh, it absolutely can. There isn't any armor, but Headtrick again. Those little changes to the Molotov. B-Stick's on the flank. He should get a freebie onto Alex. But he's got to hurry it up. Alex isn't going to get away, but Headtrick now can tuck back in.
No defuse kit. No time. And it looks like he does.
No, he grabbed it. He grabbed the defuse kit.
Okay. Whew. Thought he didn't have the time there. But B-Stick, the IGL, not only calls out a great round here, but manages to save it away as well. This was amazing coming out of Bait though. Like, this was an eco. They managed to find 4 kills into it, right? And not only that, but they also find the bomb plant and almost win the round.
There's some incredible deagle shots, and this is finally a round where Bait are in the right direction, where they walk onto the A site. Every time they've been at A, Sinners have had enough of an early warning that they can get players onto the A site to play defense. This time they're in that aggressive mid setup and they're off of A. Gonna take that fight to mid though. Captain Kirk got through the lurk smoke. Is an aggressive idea. Morisco's got them both.
Morishko, he's had great impact so far in the best of 3, even as a stand-in. Here, Sinners on the man advantage. Yeah, MPL fall down to low HP. Ooh, and Oscar doesn't trade it back there. He's allowed them to push on down 2 to this B side, and it is going to be Essential finding the op as well. Oscar whiffing away 2 very important shots there. Might just cost Sinners the round.
Maybe, but there's still a chance at victory. They're gonna get back in here, or are they? Looks like maybe not.
Here comes the smoke, so perhaps, yes, they do have 2 defuse kits. A flash as well on the back of Morishko, but he doesn't want to use it. He just want to dry peek into this one, and it's going to be 8's death in Morishko, even though he found a triple kill into this round. He can find the quadra to secure the round 2. So there you have it. Going to be 7-4, and a last round of this first half ensuing.
What a clawback from Bait. You remember how that round started? Sinners, they had a double opening at mid. NPL would grab one, but they were at a man disadvantage that whole time. And Bait still able to get the late hit towards B to convert. And then the 2-on-2 post plant, even with all the utility that Sinners had, Bait's still better. Some really nice trading. Finally, Headtrick. Feel like he's not had a chance at the op for the vast majority of this T side. He's got one here, recovered off the body of Oscar. B-Stick's
B-Stick. Oh.
I think there was just like a little bit showing there from Headtrick, but B-Stick didn't see it. That's ambitious.
It is. Shock finds Essential. This is going to be huge, though. Because now they can actually try to take a fight down towards his B site. MPL down to half HP as well. Rishko's gonna fall though.
Yeah, that's all the way over on towards A. So Alex holding off the rotations through A main. He catches one, and now it's created a lot of questions for centers. Shock's gonna re-clear ramp. This is really his only option in this moment. As I ensures that there's somebody mid. Again, timing just off. As Alex creeps out, Ike falls away to stack up on B.
Okay. So they've made the right call, Sinners. They're all here. The whole server's getting ready to be here. Alex on the flank. Could try to find Ike here. Checks! Oh, but Alex wins out that duel. Long range engage, and yet still the flanker wins. 20 seconds. They need to get into this site now, and Shock and Oscar are ready to deny. How many can they find, though? 1 for 1, and now Shock keeps going. The spray transfer works. Shock! There you have it. He does it again. He clutches in when you least expect him. And a 2v4. These guys managed to make it 8-4 on the split.
And the 1v3 there, how is Shock just allowed to work? He was isolated. There was all alone. Incredible from Shock. And a played round from Bait that is seemingly perfect. Falls apart off these back of these shots. Just a little bit late. His head trick on the op and misses the mark. Wow, from Shock.
Yeah.
You'd see the grin on his face.
I mean, when you think Sinners in this best of 3 right now, you think of clutches, right? So many have happened already, and we get to see it again. Look at this man. He pulls off the first, the second, and then pre-fires on the third. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And another tackle pause before a pistol here.
Yep. And what's interesting is that I think Bait actually called one first. Or am I crazy?
Yeah, they did, actually.
Yeah.
They did at the beginning of this matchup, they did onto Ancient. But now Sinners do it again out here into the second half. So I guess they're just keeping a tradition going in between themselves. A common agreement that they need just a little bit of break time.
I'm crazy. It was Sinners both times. That's
okay.
Yeah.
I'm crazy as well then. We're both just going tweaking out here into this one.
all right.
But it's fine,
Bait
you know.
trying to grab back another pistol. That's the goal. As a 5-man walk up mid, up on the shelf, and they'll take the fight to the Sinners. 3 fall, no response. As Oscar's got to get creative. He's got to use his flashes to try and fight his way out of this.
Oh,
He's done so.
finds one. So for the second, he's left all by himself out here. The Glock, however good he may be on it, not able to connect on the second nor the third. As there you have it, Bait. They win out 5 out of 6 pistol rounds. I'd say that's a pretty damn good statistic.
I would agree. Not quite the perfect. That would have been insane if they did pull it off, but
Yeah.
we're at a...
Pistol rounds being so important on CS2 as well. I mean, this is just Bait basically gaining half of their rounds in this best of 3 due to those good starters.
And with another half to sort of claw back, much like the nuke second half that we saw, Bait will be thanking the lucky stars that they get that. Here's the thing for Centers. They don't get the bomb plant, and that means that they're on the eco, on the full eco. There's basically nothing bought up on this round. They're going to try and get the bomb down. Oh, and they will. Perfect. Doesn't matter if everybody goes down, and they will. As long as that bomb gets planted, all good.
Nice ace coming out of head trick, though. I mean, sure, it was an eco, but it was an eco Cobra coming out of the FAMAS. So he managed to grab up all of that money. Sadly, wasn't on an MP9 or anything, but hey, I mean, there you go. He has enough for an AWP now if he wants to really force it out, as there will be the full buy coming in from Sinners. But that advantage that Sinners started off the half with, slowly dwindling away now. See how it goes into this round, though. Bonus buy coming out of the CT side.
But as much as bonuses can be difficult, on a map like Ancient, if you position those SMGs correctly, they're incredibly powerful. Oh, I do see Captain Kirk is over towards mid. Sinchel, this is more what I was talking about. over in Jaguar. Centers off the rip. They're going to let Bait have whatever they want. Early deep door smoke from Bait. Actually get a re-smoke in as well. And Centers are just going to sit behind it, watching for any aggression. Very, very slow approach.
Nate just killed off a couple of trees there.
Okay, they mollied MPL, but it didn't spread. I think they aren't going to have an idea that he's here.
Oh, there it is. Shock is going to go down. And now man advantage taken away for Bait one more time. Here for their CT side as Bait, they're going to get traded out immediately. Coming in from Catwalk as well is going to be Morishko finding two. One pushed up into the middle, the other down on Donut. Now you open up that A site and Essential doesn't find the timing to shut them down from behind. So 2v2. And I takes a lot of damage from that Molotov as well. This is going to be a tough one to try to hold if you're Sinners.
Yes and no. Because Bait have a kit, but they don't have any utility. So no smoke for the bomb. And they've got to stick together. Sinners have the win condition set with double Donut. It's absolutely the right place to be. And hopefully trying to find an early fight. Morisco taking a risk, but he gets away with it. Flash comes in. They just going to hold? Yeah, holding on the defuse. Ait will swing wide, and that's the bomb for sure going to go off as Alex can collect his kit, but 5 HP isn't enough to fight 1v2. Doesn't know how low everybody is.
I think found out now that Morishko died. But yeah, I mean, this is a great round for Sinners. Don't take it away from them. They got into the side. They managed to win out the 2v2. This is huge, especially since they started off the round with a man disadvantage. They pushed in through middle. Shock immediately taken out of the fight, as they did think that, yeah, MPL was mauled off. Nobody was there into Ninja. Well, here you have it. There was somebody there. But now, Bait, they lose out this round. They lose economy, and they give Sinners double digits. This is a very important one for the CT side to try to win.
That it is. And remember how Bait last round, they had a really strong hold on mid, but Morisco comes in and just rips it away from them. 3 kills untraded. And the Sinners' call is to head out A. It's just a contact play as well. They've made a little bit of noise, but nobody's actually seen anything. Now they do. They'll start to call them back in. Smoke's set up. And it's up to Captain Kurtka to make life difficult. Head trick in from Temple. 1 for 1 there for NPL.
They go in for more out here. Not a bomb plan just yet, because it is going to be Alex holding down to the side there. Back towards the boxes though. Head trick's going to get spotted. Oh, almost runs out of bullets. Shock still outstanding. 2v2 and 45 seconds. They do have the time to actually rotate away, but they don't have the bomb here, Vincent. They have to go get it. And MPL and Essential, they're not letting that happen.
Oh my goodness, an aggressive swing there from Essential. Putting NPL in the clutch. 8 HP onto Shock. And NPL knows it's about the timing. That's the high health player gone. He's gone for the reload, but he's still got the advantage. Shock comes away. Another clutch for Shock. Oh my goodness. He is on fire. He cannot be stopped. Nobody step up against Shock because he can't lose.
Yeah, that was beautiful coming in for Shock. You got to see MPL kind of say a little damn after he tried to take that duo away. And yeah, look at this. Barely even saw him as well. What a reaction out here from Shock. 14 and 11. Currently the highest hitter out here for Sinners, but everybody's still pulling through. I mean, Sinners, they have actually just been such a consistent unit out here. It's really nice to see it work out finally on a map like Ancient, where team play is very important. When those retakes are almost, you know, not worth going for if you're not really, really certain that you're able to communicate and coordinate. It's nice to see that now Sinners are making a good T side as well.
Yeah.
Here onto Ancient.
Sinners are about to find, if they can close this out, an incredible upset, and I think that no matter what the outcome is, Shock is such a huge part of it. Couple of MAC-10s, but up against a... Well, actually, everybody has head armor, now that I look at this for bait. So, those MAC-10s might not be as effective, though it doesn't matter for Morisco. He's already grabbed the first of these kills. This buy from bait really does tell the story that they are all in. They've put their cards on the table, and they need this one. Even though it's a pistol armor.
Pistol armor on a single defuse kit on a pushed up MPL through cave. Right, so Morisco now just running it down here with the MAC-10. If he finds him, it's over, and MPL rushes out immediately. So, yeah, already a round that doesn't really look winnable at all here for Bay. It is going to be 11-6 perhaps, but Headtrick through a smoke. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna counter one. It's gonna be Alex trying to push up through a second smoke here. It doesn't get more than 20 HP down onto Oscar. So there you have it. 11-6. Vincent, we are reaching a end talking point here for Sinners. They need 2 more. And they're over it. They're done. They actually managed to deny Bait the reverse sweep.
Well, I mean, it's still a couple of steps in that puzzle, but yeah. It certainly is looking that direction. When you're looking at Bait and where their money's at and how much they really need to find some sort of miracle. They do have a couple of miracle workers though on their team. You can look towards a Headtrick and NPL. Those are the guys that really focus your eyes on in a round like this, where they're saving for a full buy in what could be, should be, map point next round. But if they could pull it off in this round, imagine comeback chances just fly up.
Would be really nice to see that. However, it's going to be MPL pushing down through from Donut, already falling back down to 63. Is he going to get caught on the cross? He wasn't. Now Sinners, they head on over to the B-bomb site once again. And it's still that MAC-10 from Morisco that I'm waiting for it to find that multi-frag. And speaking of the devil, Morisco finds 2. Falls back down to 13 HP. The nade doesn't catch him though. So as they keep going and going, MPL finds a headshot. Only for the round count to still go up in the name of Sinners.
Morisco has been so impressive. Just stepping into a match where, you know, you as a stand-in, there's just not a lot of expectations on your shoulder, and I think that he's really done as good as you could ever ask from for a stand-in in this game. And one more round is all that Sinners need to complete what is a pretty significant upset victory with a stand-in as well. No off for Headtrick, no utility even for Headtrick. There's a pressurized mid. Flashes are going to come, but Shock is not ready for NPL's very forward position.
Morisco looking down at it. Has the MAC-10 on hand and will be able to find one. Looking at it for the second. Oh my goodness! These SMGs just working out for Morisco. He's 18 at 11. It's going to be Ait coming on in, and Oscar as well, finding the frags needed. This is the end of the road out here, as Headtrick is the last man standing in the 1v3 coming in from CT. Post-plant situation as well, and no defuse kit. He has to make the world of a difference here in this round. And honestly, I don't really see it, Vincent, but let me know if you do, because he's pushing him through these smokes, and he's got to look on down towards the side. Ait is going to match him, and here it comes. That's an easy frag, 13-6, as Sinners will be shutting down Bait here. They're not allowing the reverse sweep to happen, and they take it away on Ancient to find that revenge from, well, the first day of the month out here, where they actually fought again, and Sinners were the ones to lose this best of 3.